you know, I got this vision in my head of what I wanted. And from there, my God, it was just, wow. So both my parents are Italian, and I was born in the UK, but I was brought up in a very Italian family, living with my parents and grandparents in one house. And of course, you know, my mother's side's from northern Italy and my father's side's from southern Italy. So you've got the two contrasts. My grandfather was a chef. So I guess the hospitality thing came of my granddad being in the kitchen. So I was always around Italian food and good food. And I guess the other thing from an Italian point of view is, you know, it's no secret that generally Italians are considered to be quite stylish. You know, most things, whether it's car design, clothes design, furniture design, it all comes from Italy. So spoke to the guys at Barnes Thompson, came along, had a meeting, asked me if I'd got any ideas, and yes, I did, obviously, because I've been working on this project for 2 years, and sort of explained to them, this is the sort of starting, you know, okay, it's an Italian coffee shop deli. You've got to have that Italian sort of influence, but at the same time, we want that very cosmopolitan look. We want almost people coming in and saying, oh yeah, you know, I can see the Italian feel there, but also, oh, I'm in Morpeth, I'm in London, I'm in Dubai. It's got to be that sort of very cosmic, and even down to the colours, which, as you'll see in the coffee, we've got the lovely corals and the greens, which are very, very contemporary this moment, and all the features that are very fashionable at the minute, you know, the floral wallpapers, the greenery of the plants, the flowers in the ceiling, the brasswork. So I got this vision in my head of what I wanted, and all these different things that go with that, and even wall features, marble, lights in the ceiling. Sort of spoke to the guys about that. They created a CGI render on a computer which gives you the visuals walkthrough, and then they come up with this feature, end design, and there you go. And from there, my God, it was just wow. It's come out, and actually customers that I've shown that the CGI render, the design on the computer, when they actually have seen it, because we've been showing people, they've gone, oh my God, it's actually just like, and it's just come out, yeah, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Great guys, they know the trade, absolutely fantastic.
I guess what was easy with the design is we had a lot to go off. Sometimes we'll get a mood board. There's a million different things in it that are going in 500 different directions, and it's hard to try and sort of direct that without a load of back and forth just on the mood board before we even get to start designing and putting a floor plan and the 3D image and VR or whatever together. Sometimes that happens, but there was definitely a clear vision here.
After we met with Rick, Giovanni and Miguel, we spoke to them about different influences they were like to incorporate into the design. Rick mentioned he spent a lot of time back in Italy, specifically Sorrento. So we spoke to Sarah, who's head of design here, to give the nod to some of Sorrento's architecture and the 3D model.
So I used to go to Sorrento a lot with my wife, and you know, and it's Italy in general, you see a lot of archways. So I said to Ryan, we need to sort of, and people will see when they come in, there's lots of archways and marble. So it's almost like you feel like you're in Italy, but then at the same time, you're in a cosmopolitan coffee bar in London. It's that sort of look. So we've tried to mix that Italian feel with that very contemporary, and even with the panelled walls. So, you know, that's a little bit sort of old English as well. So it's mixing all this different influences, different style, different colours. It just works. It's just brilliant. It's just absolute spot on. Yeah.
Some people might not notice. I know Rick, the client, Giovanni and Miguel, they all know that behind the design there's references to Sorrento in Italy, which is what these arches were supposed to represent. Some people may pick up on it, some may not, but little touches like that I think have been why there's been a deeper meaning in the design and a bit more attention to detail in terms of getting Italy across the line, and not just with the colour scheme and making it look nice, but there's actually some sort of hidden messages, I'd say, with the design, which is another reason it's one of the favourites for me.
My background in furniture design, back in the day, it was mood boards. So you can imagine, you create a mood board, you've got a picture of the sofa, you've got the samples of fabrics that you think you're going to use, you've got then sort of colours on the board for the walls and the curtain. Yeah, very nice. But the CGI render is absolutely invaluable, because you see it in 3D. You're literally walking around the restaurant, and all the things that's in your head, I'm there. That's it. Absolutely. So I think without Barnes Thompson having that capability of doing the CGI renders, I don't think it would have come out as good as this. At one stage, we painted the coral beautiful and we painted the mint green, and I wasn't sure, and it was like, do you know what? I'm not sure this is right. And the guys, if you want it repainting, don't worry about it. We'll do it. It's not a problem. Let's do it now rather than later. So that was the sort of attitude. So brilliant, brilliant. The thing with Barnes Thompson is, even though the design concept, I sort of knew what I wanted, but then with Barnes, they just sort of, because they've obviously got their own interior designer, they put it together and create the CGI render. But then from there, you don't have to worry, because the guys do it all. They strip it out. They're builders, they're joiners, they're electricians, they are steel workers. So the whole package, so they do everything from start to finish. And that is a rarity, trust me, because I've been around a long time doing showroom designs, and there are not a lot of people, even in London, there are a few companies that do that, and they are vastly expensive. So so from Barnes Thompson's point of view, they've got it all covered, and even from a cost point of view, they're not ridiculously expensive. I think you get a fantastic job for a good price, basically, and that's definitely a fact. The other thing is, to find a local company in the Northeast with this skill set is just incredible, because normally you've got to go to London or Manchester, so to find somebody in the Northeast that does this, they should be doing most of the bars and restaurants in the Northeast, because they are definitely the best at it. I mean, I've already asked them to look at a couple of projects here. We're looking at an outside area for Gran Caffe Lollo. I'm looking at a rooftop terrace restaurant for Lollo Rosso, because we've got the potential. So already we're looking at getting them to look at 2 more projects for us here. So yeah. I've got a sneaky feeling we're going to know them and be friends with them for many years to come.